this shit. It still has a 3326. We're this far advanced in the product cycle in that chip, and we're still doing this today? What is it? October 2021? Come on! Sorry.
Oh my gosh. It's the Halloween episode, y'all. Halloween BRB gaming episode. We're here today with MoreTechSir. Luke from MoreTechSir. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing? It's been too long.
Oh, we're great.
It's been too long.
It has been, man. Yeah, we're doing good. Here we are, like midday recording a podcast for once instead of at night. This is actually, I think I have more energy now. I'm not worn down from the day. Although in London time, you're probably just feeling just wiped.
It's beer o'clock.
Not as bad as last time. Yeah, not as bad as last time at like 2 a.m.
We subjected you to recording on our time schedule. So it's like, 2 a.m. You're like, guys, please let me sleep. And we're like, no, we need to keep talking about the Retroid Pocket.
Let's go.
It's too important.
Don't fall asleep. But yeah, we're all super active today. I think we're all doing a little bit of day drinking too. At least I am.
It's a good day. And we're having fun.
Yeah,
we built a shelter yesterday, and there was this crazy wind from California called a cyclone bomb that came through Oregon and just ripped our shit up. Middle of building this like shed thing, and materials are being blown out of our hands. We're like, "What is happening?" Sideways hail is hitting us in the face. My poor pregnant wife is like, "Why?" But we soldiered through, so I'm proud to say we have a shed.
You have a shed. Congratulations.
Yes, a shed. What kind of shed? Is it the UK kind of shed, or is it like the extravagant American? You call it a shed, but really it's got 10 bathrooms, 3 beds in it, and a downstairs basement. Is that what kind of shed we're calling it?
Well, you guys have the tiny home movement out there in the UK.
We don't even have you can't even really fit any. You could fit a bed in it. That's it.
Well, we have this whole thing now where people buy like a landscaping trailer and then build a home on it, right?
Oh, nice.
And then they call themselves like urban nomads or some crazy shit like that. Like they just cruise around. That's their whole life is Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I could do that as long as I had video games. Like I'm good. Let's go.
Then you're fine. I know. I considered adding in like electrical outlets or something, but no, it's a cheap Amazon shed. It's like $200. So
Amazon makes sheds. Amazon makes sheds. What? That's a thing.
You build it yourself. It took us like maybe 2 hours to get the whole thing up. How's your life over there?
It's been interesting over the last 6 months. Let's just say.
Well, yeah, because you got in the new house, right?
Yeah, we got the new house. It's been interesting. Let's just say when we purchased it, people are pretty good at covering things up that we didn't realize.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, they are.
We've had fun doing it. We're still currently doing it at the minute, so it's just an ongoing project. I literally can't wait till it's done, to be honest.
Well, hell yeah, man.
Apart from that, yeah, I mean, we're on the property ladder. Not a lot of people can say that, so
yeah.
It is what it is, and we just, like anyone says, once you've got an house, it's an ongoing project for life. So
yeah, it really is. I just had a bunch of shingles ripped off of my barn/lab, right? And then we got to get the whole house painted. I got to get a new liner for our in-ground pool. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've got $100,000 outgoing in like the next 6 months easily.
That's crazy.
That is madness, Thor. But I am so proud. I'm so proud of all of us here. Look at us, just adulting.
Adults.
And we're still enjoying video games.
We are.
Right?
We are.
We're living the life.
When we first started this podcast, it was going to be essentially us like half bitching about how we don't have time for anything, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I feel like as this hobby has gone along, at least for me, that I've been making time for more stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been getting sicker for sure.
Yeah.
Just deeper into this.
Well, let's see. I bought your OLED. I'm going to buy your Steam Deck. I just got a Game Boy Advance in today. I've got a Z Pocket game coming in, an RG351P that has an RG351M's board in it, and then a custom painted Game Force. So I got it bad right now.
You do. And I got a X18S incoming from PowKiddy.
I'm so excited for the X18S.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. I got a RG351MP in. Mm-hmm. I sent my OLED switch to you, so you got that. Mm-hmm. I opened it up. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. I just don't need it, and I'm not going to use it. So,
do you find an addiction, like, because I was saying this in the Discord the other day, the phone I've got now is a Google Pixel 5. It can run pretty much anything, but yeah, I still feel enticed that I need to buy every new handheld, even though the majority will never play anything over Dreamcast, and it will not play PSP. And the last gen handhelds could barely play PSP, but yet there were so many getting pushed out, and you think, oh, well, it's got this bit, it's got Wi-Fi now, let's buy it. But then you're like, really? Do I really need that?
I know, but you just want to touch it.
Needs a pejorative term, we don't need it. We don't need anything other than like shelter, water, that the basic stuff.
Right.
But
that's true.
I need handhelds because I will not game on my phone.
Right.
Because I hate my phone.
Notifications coming at you.
Yeah. I don't want notifications. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
For me, it's hard to describe, but I describe it as it's a handheld. A phone isn't. Right. A handheld is just play games on a phone, not really to do that. You can do it, but that's not the purpose built of it. So I feel like I'm sort of cheating. If I play games on my phone, I feel like I'm cheating on all my handhelds. I just sat there going, what are you doing? Why are you not playing with me?
They all talk in that voice. They're like,
hey, that's how all of my devices will talk in my head now. Like Luke doing that.
Same. I know. My chicken handheld is like, why don't you play with me?
No, I just feel the need to like tinker constantly. I don't actually play games on my handhelds because I'm a sick.
No, you wouldn't. But
I tinker constantly. We got lineage going on everything we touch. So I just like to tinker, man. And with this slew of new handhelds that have been coming out over the past 3 or 4 months, not a lot of them have been great. Let's be honest here. Not a lot of them have been outstanding. Finally, with the 18S, which is the one I'm really excited for at this moment, Seraph, Black Seraph, one of the community developers, is already killing it with the custom firmware for it.
I can't wait to try that. So by the time I'm in batch 2, so by the time my X18 gets here, it should have an OS ready to play on it.
Right.
If it's not the PowKiddy.
I feel like what you were saying, Thor, I use retro handhelds to tinker more than play.
Yeah.
Like, see what they can do. See, like, so they say it can do A, B, and C, but let's see what it can really do under the cover. So let's push it. Let's see what we can actually do with it. How much juice we can get out of it.
Right.
Yep.
It's a constant thing, and that goes along with the firmware thing as well. Trying out the Linux distributions on 3326, and then there are certain things that does better than the Android versions for the 3326, but the Android has it on like Dreamcast and PSP because the emulators are more refined. It's a whole thing. I love the mismatch and the back and forth and everything. And I love being able to put together a guide so people can sit down and actually figure out what the hell's going on with their handheld and their favorite distribution flavor,
Yeah.
It's good. I'm really loving the community right now. We've got some crazy stuff that's been going on in the background that I don't think a lot of people have seen, between Steam Deck stuff, because that's coming up. That's supposed to blow a lot of stuff out of the water. And then we've got the RP3 and the RP2 Plus coming out here, hopefully soon.
That's right.
Yeah. And Retroid put up their own official server.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got that going on, but we'll still be providing all the lineage and probably basic support for Retroid Pocket's stuff for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, we're still going to be the custom firmware server and provide that experience for their customers. So we're very excited for the next gen.
Customers, listen to you.
The two,
like we get paid.
Right, I know, right? We do it for free. We do it for fun. But the RP2 Plus, getting that board going, and then the pre-built RP2 Plus with the touchscreen, that'll be an option, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the RP3 on the way. Retroid is really going to be firing on all cylinders. I'm just excited to see how they take this and where they take this. So
I'm pretty excited for the pre-built 2 Plus. That's what I'll be going for. Personally.
Yep. Same.
I mean, I have my RP2s. I have my orange RP2 that we worked on lineage on. It hasn't had its screws in it for 8 months. So I'll be excited to get a fresh console with a fresh board and a fresh touchscreen in it that hasn't been taken apart 50,000 times by me.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what you can actually do with it. Yeah. 'Cause just from the looks of some of the videos that have come out on it, it does seem like there's a lot more potential for tinkering and just to see where you can push it and what you can do with it.
Well,
it's true.
The promise of 4x3 GameCube that's pretty hard to be mad at.
I'm pretty stoked for that. And I'm also kind of excited now for the RG552 from Anbernic.
Mm-hmm.
The more I see it, I know it's a little bit underpowered having that RK3399 chip in it.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to it. Just, it looks good. I don't know. And then where in the hell this RGB 10 Max 2 dropped without any fanfare, nothing. It still has a mono speaker though. Sure, it's a little more ergonomic. And it's still, get this shit. It still has a 3326. We're this far advanced in the product cycle in that chip, and we're still doing this today? What is it? October 2021? Come on!
Sorry. The 10 Max didn't come out that long ago, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And then they're coming out with the 2. I mean, it is basically just updated ergonomics, but it's like, why didn't you guys do this to begin with? Why didn't you do this to begin with?
Let's communicate. We could get some firmware going.
I had a video come out on my channel a while back why I love and hate retro handhelds. Ambinic. I'm not just going to say Ambinic, yo. I'm just going to chuck their name out. Like, they are a prime example of bringing new products out and teasing something, but yet taking something away and then classing it as a new product, which it isn't really. It's just they've added something in that they probably could have added in the first batch or the second batch. Yeah. But yeah, so it's a money making. It's one of them things. If it's going to sell, it's sell. And if they know it's going to sell, they know they can make more product on it. They will do that. That's my only gripe with certain companies within this community, I guess, who make them. Because a lot of people are really naive. And I want to go out there and say, if they don't do the research, they will buy it thinking it can play A, B, and C, and it can't, and it won't. And the question I always get is, can it play PSP?
That's all I care about.
The majority of handhelds can't, but yet they portray that it can, so people are misled quite a lot.
It can play basic bitch PSP. You know, it's not going to play Chains of Olympus. It's not going to play Tony Hawk.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, though, like you were touching on, Luke, is that you have a Pixel 5. Now that plays PSP and everything else, but you still got to have handhelds, because you want that dedicated device. I kind of feel the same way. I always keep a new gen phone on me to play whatever I want. And then I have my handhelds. Eventually we'll get to a point where the timelines merge and the handheld does everything. Having said that, I'm now not satisfied with my Note 20 Ultra and have pre-ordered a Pixel 6 Pro.
Pixel 6 Pro. Yeah.
Because something's wrong with me. I'm already a year old in my Samsung 20, and I'm starting to see some frame drops in 3DS emulation. And
your battery's shit, isn't it?
And my battery is totally dropping. So I'm still buying devices like this. This is the RG351MP. Let me tell you my thoughts on this guy. This, again, like what you were saying about
give you something good and take something away.
Yeah, we make something good, take something away. This is the ultimate metal handheld. They took away Wi-Fi, and that kind of kills the product. Sure, I can put in a external Wi-Fi adapter, but that's a shit experience. This is a little heavy, and I'm not totally happy with it. It looks beautiful. That screen is so crisp.
Yes.
It can't play PSP very well.
No.
It still has a 3326. I think this is probably an unneeded device, and I would love to see a plastic shell version with a Wi-Fi chip in it.
Like Fox was talking about in mod chats, the RG351PP.
Great.
Plastic Pro. Yes. Plastic Pro is what,
Give me a Plastic Pro.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are excited for the 552, right? The RG552.
Right.
But I mean, the 3399 is not a heavy hitter. It has a ton of community support with Linux and even with Android builds and stuff like that. So we'll be able to get custom firmware and Batocera, I'm sure will have a distribution for it, or 351 Elec. We know Sebian, they'll probably make something cool for it. But as far as comparing it to the RP3, which is what I thought originally they would be going for, it's not going to be on the same tier at all. RP3 is going to have 5 gigahertz, going to have dual click sticks. It's going to have the widescreen. It's going to be in a very ergonomic form factor. The 552 looks like the 351 MP, but longer and without 5 gigahertz, you know?
Yeah. And the thing with the 552, having the Batocera dual boot, that'll be cool. Have you guys used Batocera yet? Have you tried that?
Yeah, I love it.
Experience out?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know. I can't deny it. It's perfection. It's amazing.
It's just extremely refined, you know?
Yeah. It has it hits a lot of the bullet points for me. The only thing is, I wish I could, because I'll always have a gripe when loading it onto a modern PC. I wish I could load up my Steam library or like play my modern games, because I still got to switch back to Windows 11, which I made the switch, by the way, and I'm enjoying Windows 11. MoreTechSir, Luke, you're not enjoying it as much, I hear.
No, I mean, I am, but
you're noticing a performance drop.
Because I'm with AMD, so even though I've done the update, I still notice a performance drop. So I don't know if it's because I'm not on the new Ryzen chip. I'm only on the 2700X, so I don't know if it's that, or because I didn't really do a fresh install. I know they always say you should, but I just upgraded.
I didn't. Nope.
I don't know. It's just going to get time. I do love the interface. It's a lot more cleaner. I mean, some of the buttons and some of the gripes that people have, where like your settings and your more folders, things like that, are hidden away just with an extra tab. I can get used to it. But I mean, overall, so far, I haven't really done any game testing on it. That's the thing, though. So
we'll see, right?
I'll have to see how it performs.
Thor, have you upgraded to Windows 11 yet? Have you tried it out in a VM or anything?
I tried it out in a VM. I'm never going to upgrade it. It's just, I have things the way I like them. I'm one of those people.
I get it.
You know?
And hey, I feel the same way. However, I'm like, I'm going to roll the dice. And I did it, and all my settings and everything's the same. Yeah. Nothing changed. It's just, it looks slicker.
That's great. But my processor's a little bit older. My graphics card's a little bit older. You know, I'm on a 7700K with a 1080 Ti. I don't feel the need to upgrade my PC yet, like at all. Well, I'm still running every game on Max, with the exception of I don't have ray tracing, which whoop-de-doo, you know.
Which, whatever, sure.
Yeah, whatever. That's cool, but meh. I don't really feel the need to upgrade at all anything right now, and that includes my operating system. I tried Windows 11 out in VM on 16 gigs of RAM because I have 64 in my system. It worked real nice. I don't really care for some of the interface changes, but that's just me being a particular prick. That's it.
I'm getting used to it. I'm like becoming a Windows 11 evangelist or something. A PP.
Yeah.
Everyone reference Thor. He is the PP. He is the prince. He is the prince proper of this podcast. I'm a freak, but I got rid of all of my taskbar icons and tray icons, and I just have the Windows logo that's centered in the direct middle of my monitor. And I click on that, and I get to everything I need. There's the start menu that comes up, all my little programs. Nice. I can search. It's just so minimal, because before, if you did that, you'd have your Windows on the far left, and it didn't quite look right. So I had to line up some more icons along my taskbar. But now, with it centered, I'm like, I have one thing on my desktop, just the Windows logo.
Are you gonna?
I might have to try that. I might try it because I've still got all mine at the bottom.
You're going to put up like a rain meter clock widget or anything like that?
Fuck no.
Fuck no? Okay. Lo siento, Jesus.
Don't kill the messenger.
I just want the...
That's the way you said that. I'm going to go cry now.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Thor. I'm so...
No, I respect a clean interface. I really do.
It's clean.
Okay, yeah.
It looks cleaner when I can center stuff, and now they're centering the UI, and I dig it. So I'll take the performance drop. I know they're going to fix it, and all my programs work. That's all I care about. RetroArch works. Launchbox works.
Well, I still have an opinion on this. I don't personally think that Windows 11 is a full OS version upgrade, by the way. I think it's Windows 10.1.
Yeah, I know. But they're branding, you know.
Well, yeah, it's brand. I get it. It's branding. I get it. But it's Windows 10.1. It has a big UI update and some back-end shit. Otherwise, it's basically still Windows 10.
Fair.
True.
Fair. So, but I like the
that's how I feel
change, is all I'm saying. And it's the little things that make me happy in life, Thor.
Yeah.
So depends what little things you're talking about.
Oh, you. So, anyways, to segue, it is happy Halloween time, everybody. It is
Halloween time, yes.
It's spooky. Do we want to talk about some of our favorite horror games over the years? Horror movies?
Yeah.
We don't really talk movies, but we could.
Yeah. Well, we've had all these Resident Evil remakes lately.
Yeah, it's true. I'm still sad we lost an entire episode due to technical malfunctions, and we had an excellent Step on Me Mommy episode that was lost to time.
We did.
So
I feel so sad about that still. Because I really went all out on the giant boobs and how I wanted this 8-foot tall woman to just ruin my life. And, it was a whole thing.
I got to save some of that for a Tamagotchi special. That was good.
Yeah.
So, okay. My favorite horror game all time, let me just off the cuff here. I would say Phasmophobia.
Phasmo's a good call. I like doing it in VR with the virtual desktop on the Quest 2.
Isn't it spooky? I mean, it's so spooky. The ghosts are so well done. I'm just frightened every time. I scream like a little child.
I've guest starred on a couple of my friends' Twitch streams where I was playing it in VR with him. So
really,
that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Have you played it in VR by yourself? Because that is terrifying.
Yes, I have.
That is.
I don't get spooked like that. Sure. There have been a couple of things that have happened though, where like I'm like intensely focused on something, and then something flies across the room where I actually have said out loud, "Oh shit!" And then you do the duck, like you're.
Yeah, you're like, I know you physically move. You're like, oh god,
yeah.
That's the thing. Staircase. I'm not like if we put it in perspective. I love horror. Like I love horror. I can watch gores, guts, anything to do with like ghosts or stuff. Man, that gives me the chills so much.
So
like good. Literally gives me the chills. Like even if I'm watching it at home on my own in the cinema, a funny story. So I went to see Insidious when I was at university. This is a long time ago. And it was the premiere. So I went and I lived with, because I was in dorms. So I lived with like 6 girls and 1 lad. And he never came out with us ever. So we all went to watch it. We'd been out for a couple of beers before. And it got to the point where she's in the bedroom where the cot is. And that guy walks through the wall. That like vampire like kind of guy walks through the wall. Oh my God. I was so focused on looking at that cot. And then that came in. I literally went, fuck, as loud as I could in the cinema. No. It was packed and everyone turned around and they're pissing themselves at me. And I'm just like, oh my God. It was funny at the time because nothing like that would make me jump because I was so focused on like where the camera was.
Yeah, that you weren't expecting.
And then the jump scare came in. But I should have been prepared for it because I know the horror genre. I know the code and conventions of a horror, but I was just so fixated. It's probably because I had too much beer. And I'm like, oh shit.
That's kind of a classic movie going experience. My all-time favorite movie is The Conjuring, as far as horror movies go.
Solid, yeah.
Still good to this day. That director, man. Even the follow-ups, for the most part, were good, except for the Annabelle movies. But
have you seen the new one?
Which one's the latest one?
Conjuring 3. It's The Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh, yeah. Cathonics and I watched that probably a few months back. That was pretty good. Still nothing compared to 1 and 2. That nurse in 2, it's crazy times. How about you?
I dig on the Halloween movies. I love the Halloween movies. I really like the Danny McBride Halloween. Yeah. That was just fantastic. I like campy, stupid shit though, like the Leprechaun or Candyman or Hellraiser is one of my top.
Hellraiser, nice. Yo, I love
Toymaker. A garden of Eden, a garden of flesh. It's just so stupid. And the Cenobites, like the guy's got the camera in his face and shit, it's just weird.
Yeah, that's a number 3. I like, I think my favorite is Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Like, I used to be terrified of that as a kid.
Don't go to sleep.
I absolutely love it. Like, yeah, I don't know what about it. Yeah. I think number 3 is the best out of the full franchise by far.
Like we watched the modern It movies, right?
Yeah.
2 movies,
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're fantastic. And they're not like, they're scary, but they're not horrifying. Right. And dude, I remember my dad tortured the shit out of me about Pennywise the Dancing Clown when I was a kid in the early 90s.
Oh, holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Pennywise is going to get you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you. All right.
You know what? My most terrifying movie of all time, I still say, is the made-for-TV It movies. Now that I'm thinking about it.
That's
what I was a kid.
About.
Yeah, and I watched those on my grandma's TV, and I couldn't sleep. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, Tim Curry, like,
but see,
he's such a good Pennywise.
That's the thing, it was Tim Curry. You take Tim Curry it versus Alexander Skarsgård it, and Tim Curry is way, way, way more terrifying, I think, because he's just so over the top, and like the slobbering and the teeth and the, just the weird,
just horrifying.
Yeah.
And I think with the original one, it's because he's portrayed more. I don't know. He's portrayed more as like just a human in the remake. He's you sort of know it's not human, but in the original, you don't really find out till later in the film,
right?
That he's just sort of like being. He's just so. As a kid, I presume you feel more scared of that because when you have kids' parties, you have a clown. To where now you're not going to have Pennywise version 2.0 come to your party, are you?
No.
Did you imagine that as a kid? You'd be petrified.
Yeah, you'd be dead. Yeah.
We went to a not Halloween, but it's like a costume party thing that they do at the church yesterday, and there was a kid that showed up as Pennywise. I was like, "Oh, we're doing that in church, huh?" That was pretty freaking weird.
Oh no. Yeah. My cousin dressed up as Pennywise once, and I was like, "No, you've made a mistake.
No, you're a bad person."
You were immediately. We don't talk now, so.
No. But no, those movies were, especially the Tim Curry version, were super solid. The modern ones were great, I thought.
Yeah.
Another good one is Paranormal Activity. Always freaks me out.
Oh, solid.
Like, it doesn't. I don't do the jump scares and stuff, but
sure,
it bothers me for a couple of days afterwards. Like, I'm worried about like a hand reaching out of the wall and touching my face while
I think it's because it's you sort of know it could potentially be real. Like a lot of horror movies, like Nightmare on Elm Street, even though potentially that was based on a true story, like Halloween, things like that. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Phantasm by Don Corleone.
I believe I've actually seen part of that, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Like that's a B movie. That was supposed to be a B movie that he created, and it turned out to be like a really big box office. The first 4 were really good. The 5th,
this movie, 1979.
Yeah, the 5th is a bit just,
too much.
Well, it's just
I've always taken you as a fan for horror. I think you and I have talked horror a bit before, but beyond movies, what is your favorite horror game?
Ooh. It's really hard. I really love Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a solid horror. I almost consider those sci-fi games in a way because of the mutant zombie chemical aspect.
I mean, another one I like as well is Cold Fear. It was produced by Ubisoft, and that's like such a I don't know, for Ubisoft to do something like that. I think it's so out of the box because they never really do it, and they tried it, and I think it really worked, but then not a lot of people picked up on it, so it sort of just like gathered dust.
Yeah, I remember this. This is 2005. Yep. It's for PS2. And
they made
Xbox.
A couple of them too.
Yeah,
those were very enjoyable. I think there's a big difference between like a horror game and an over-the-top action game with horror elements. You know what I mean? Like Gears of War.
Sure.
That's an action game with some horror elements in it,
And I definitely consider that an action game and not a horror game.
But
I can see
Dead Space. That's a horror game.
Alien Isolation, horror game. Yeah. Well, Thor, what about you? What's your favorite horror game?
I mean, honestly, it's hard to beat Alien Isolation, I think.
Yeah.
Now that you're bringing it up. That was just, the experience was so intense and weird. And the Alien Isolation itself came out of nowhere. Like, nobody wanted it. Nobody expected it. And then it was just gold, I thought. It's hard to beat Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2, the originals.
Yeah, that's right. Game of the month.
Yeah.
Game of the month right now.
Those are really hard to beat. And I'm just going to throw it out there. Doom 3 had some really good, solid scares in it when it first came out. So
I have never played Doom 3. I'm going to now because I've been messing around with the RetroArch. Yeah. Well, there's a RetroArch port, so I'm going to try that version of it. Just built right into RetroArch. You just got to provide it your wads.
So that one's solid. Another good one that people don't, I mean, you're not going to see it as a horror game, but there are horror elements in it, was Half-Life 2.
Sure. Yeah.
That's true.
The Ravenholm section. You know, people are on skewers and shit. I mean, it's just real. We use horror kind of interchangeably with gore and tense and suspenseful and violent. But those moments, even when you're just worried about other human beings in a game,
right?
Those tense moments are every bit as horror, I think, as, you know, zombies getting ripped apart by chainsaws and shit like that. You know, as
long as there's the element of fear involved, I think anything could count as horror.
Right.
If you're afraid as a player, like if I'm terrified, I'm nervous, on the verge of a panic attack, I know I'm playing a good horror game. So,
like Killing Floor 2 or Left 4 Dead, very, very similar games, I think, in my opinion, where you have a horde of zombies or monsters or whatever coming at you. Those would be considered a horror game, I think. But I don't really think there's anything scary about them, except for
it's more to the
maybe when your team's
concept
down
of
and you're about to get boned. But
yeah, I guess it's more the concept of what it's based on, because it's based on a zombie apocalypse, which you always like reference to a horror in a sense. So I understand what you mean. Left 4 Dead is one of my all-time favorites. I won't say it's scary. I say it's more enjoyable, but it's not like a jump scare or anything like that. By the way, I pronounced the director's name wrong for Phantasm. It's Don Coscarelli. So just to get that right, I probably still pronounce it wrong because, you know, my accent and all
Don
that.
Corleone is from The Godfather.
But I like The Thing as well.
Have you guys tried Back 4 Blood yet?
Yes.
We're talking about Left 4 Dead. How do you like it? I haven't gotten it yet.
So I've got it on Game Pass. So it's just basically like Left 4 Dead. I feel like they could have done so much with it, but they've sort of just cloned everything from Left 4 Dead and just rephased it and remapped it, like recharacterized some of the tanks, if you want to call it, just call them different names. They've still got the boomer in there, the exact same thing. I don't know. I think it's just a revamp, reskin of Left 4 Dead with modernized graphics. It's still fun to play, but I feel like the difficulty setting, oh my God, the one thing I will say about it, they've hit the nail on the head with the difficulty setting and the new card implementation. If you've not got your stack right and you've not got a good group of team players, you're going to die. But what I find is if you're playing with bots, you can have the worst stack ever and the bots will carry you. They'll drop ammo for you. They'll heal you up every second. And that's on the easy difficulty. But when you play it with like a group of friends, if you're not on it, you'll die. But if you play with bots, it's a walk in the park. So I find that really boggling that they've done it that way. In a sense, for a co-op game.
Which is where, so they're trying to basically say you need to play this with other people if you really want to experience the true game.
Yeah, but that's on the easy difficulty. I can't imagine what it's like on expert.
Yeah.
Well, it's how they kind of set up like MMOs as well, like Final Fantasy 14, for instance, which, by the way, everybody, and I'm so sorry, Winebottom, but I have put away Final Fantasy 14 and the subscription for now. Sorry. Just had to throw that in there. I'll pick it up again soon. Don't worry. Your boy will be back.
He has to do it just for Triple Triad. That's what he brings up every single time. Triple Triad.
Give me the cards.
Well, no. What about indie games? Like, we always forget about, I think, in cinema and in entertainment in general, about indie horror stuff. Can you guys think of any good indies, whatever? Like for cinema, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called The Descent.
Yes, I love that film.
Because they have The Descent and The Descent 2, and they're both super low budget, but they're amazing. Like The Descent still bothers me.
Let me look this up.
Yeah, it's an English.
I've never seen this.
It's an English horror.
The Descent. A caving expedition goes horribly wrong as the explorers become trapped and ultimately pursued by a strange breed of predators.
Yes. Okay. It's amazing.
It is really good.
It sounds stupid. but it's amazing. It's set in America, and they used one set for basically the entire thing once they're inside spelunking, and just lit it differently for the whole thing.
Seriously.
And it is one of the most intense, terrifying movies I've ever seen, because you get the trapped, all right? You get jump scares, you get claustrophobia in a serious way, all right?
That's triggering to me. So my number one fear is claustrophobia.
Yeah.
So this sounds horrifying to me.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then you got all that going on, and then they're being pursued within the caves as well. And it's not like by one little monster, it's dozens, right?
Yes, it's really
bloodthirsty creatures.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It really plays on your mind, especially if you know that you're trapped down there as well. Like when I watch it, I think, oh my God, if that ever happened to me, I'd sit and rock backwards and forwards, because there's no way that I'm getting out of this at all.
No way.
Yikes. And the crawlers apparently are designed to look like Nosferatu.
Well, it's not just that. They actually have a reason for why they look the way they do.
Right.
It's a whole thing. Anyway, I live underground. Bringing up indies, but when I think of like legit indie cinema, that's the kind of stuff I think of right there. I think of The Descent and Moon. I don't know if you guys have seen Moon.
No.
With Sam Rockwell. It's just fantastic indie stuff. So what about indie games?
Oh, man.
We're talking about
horror
Phasmo.
games?
Yeah.
Right. Phasmo definitely is indie, so I guess that counts for mine. But there's a lot of other ones. I mean, going back to a Counter-Strike or Half-Life mod called The Hunted, I believe it was, where you would play as a creature, and when you died, you'd fight this creature, and when you die, you'd become the creature. So, I mean, that was a mod back in the early 2000s, but that's still one of my favorite like indie horror games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called The Hunted.
Have you guys ever played The Forest on PC?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones where well, that's sort of, it's reminiscent of The Descent, right? Like if those creatures are sort of in The Descent, where they come out at night and tear down your base and try to like eat your soul and shit.
Eat you and they're cannibals.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Yeah, that's Chthonix's favorite like Windows game. And her favorite horror game is Alien Isolation. You guys are on a similar wavelength there.
We always pretty much agree on games.
She beat The Forest too. She found the kid.
Good.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, they're bringing
you didn't even know that was
out,
possible, did you?
No.
I think they're bringing number 2 out, or they brought number 2 out.
Good.
Are they doing a Forest 2?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. But a game that I like that's off Half-Life, based off Half-Life, is No More Room in Hell. It's basically a zombie third-person shooter, but it's got all the aspects of it's not like fast-paced, so it's really done well in a sense. So you've got limited health, you got limited ammo for your guns. Do you know what I mean? It's point A to B. You've got a good move from A to B. The zombies actually move like zombies, and if you get bit, you're pretty much fucked. So I really love it for. I put some hours into that, and apparently number 2 is coming out, but they haven't released it yet.
Yeah, I see that. No More Room in Hell 2 on Steam. And is it going to be a standalone? Not going to be a mod of Half-Life, right? Standalone. This looks great. And The Forest 2 is a thing. What in the world?
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, because The Forest is fucking spooky. All right.
Yeah, no, it is. This isn't.
That's a great impression.
I love that you type in Forest 2 and then PS4 comes up, and the second search is Forest 2 space ulcer.
Ulcer. My tummy hurts.
Oh no. Yeah.
But no, we've got all these like legitimate jump scare games, and then it's really easy to conflate those with like Devil May Cry, which I don't consider to be a horror game. I just consider it to be an action platformer essentially. Or did you guys ever play Painkiller?
Yes.
That was a good one. They made several of those.
It's a bit like Serious Sam. I'd say it's sort of on that kind of level, but just
Serious Sam, maybe a little Max Payne with the attitude.
Yeah, Serious Sam was great though, as its own thing.
It was. Modern games not so much, but yeah.
I always find that with modern games, I don't know if it's because of my age or it's just because.
Well, you're at the ripe old age of what, 32?
33, 34 this year.
Well, you're an old man now.
Yeah. I accept presents, you know. You just find my address on my YouTube channel. You know, send me whatever you want. Obviously, in the right terms of things.
Send him anything you want.
Yeah, I don't want foots or debilitated parts of someone's body being sent to my address. But
secretly, he's asking for that.
What he's saying is he actually wants that. That's what he's saying.
He wants those things. Please send him your spare body parts.
Spare body parts. You get a foot in the mail.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, Luke.
Sorry. I've just got a spare foot hanging around. You know, I've got 3 foot, so I just don't use one.
Right.
I'm gonna cut the audio from this in the perfect way, by the way, and use it all against you. It's gonna be
that's fine.
Great. Good. No,
it's going to sound like I'm like some necrophiliac person who loves like getting dead body
Stop
parts
giving me ammo.
Shit, I'll stop now.
No, I'm just messing, man. Okay, so you, sir, MoreTechSir, created this YouTube channel, right? And you have done a whole bunch of spectrum of different things on there, from device reviews to making like lineage guides for us in Retroid and retro handhelds. What are you doing these days? Are you still doing the channel? I wanted to check in on that.
Yeah, so I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. It's MoreTechSir on YouTube. I guess it's been put on hold a bit just because I've been moving house, job things.
Yep.
So, but I'm trying to get back into it because I think what deterred me a bit is, like I said, I love the retro handheld community, but for me, I like to see new products, what I can do with it, what I can tinker in things. And I mean,
you're waiting for that next exciting thing.
I'm waiting for the next product to come out. There's only so much you can do on one device before it's like, I feel like it gets stale. And like people are just like, well, why are you just pushing this out? It's just basically what you did last week, but you're just changing something. So I don't want to act like one of them companies that actually do that with devices. But I am still doing it, so I'm picking things back up now, waiting for the new devices to come out, and hopefully there'll be a lot more content coming soon.
And if you might happen upon, you know, like a review unit for one of the newer handhelds, is that something you'd make a video for?
Yeah, definitely. I'll give my honest thoughts on it. No beating around the bush.
I always appreciate that about your videos. It seems like you're just telling the honest truth of like, this is how I feel, and maybe I don't love it, but I'm going to tell you.
I mean, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, some of the videos I put out about why I didn't like certain handhelds and stuff, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I get it, because I think a lot of consumers believe like you've got to like everything, but that's not the case. I will tell it how it is. If someone doesn't like it, you know, that's their opinion. They've got that right opinion to have that, but...
well, I mean, there are plenty of times too when I have things I like and don't like, and Stubbs is on the exact opposite spectrum. Like those same reasons, you know. I'm not a big fan of OLED. All right, I don't like the battery drain. I don't care about the darker blacks or whatever so much. It doesn't bother me. Stubbs, on the other hand, let him know how you feel, Stubbs. Tell him.
I love OLED screens. They're amazing and perfect in every way. Although you need those perfect blacks for the horror games. If you're playing VR horror, I gotta put on my Quest 1.
Back to this.
I gotta put on my Quest 1.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. The OLED screen for VR, not having to deal with like this gray washed out thing that takes me out of the experience of a horror game. Like Phasmophobia, Quest 1, plugged into my PC. Boom. Good experience.
All right.
Anyways, that's my
well, that and like I don't like clamshells. Not my thing, you know.
That's fine. Everyone has
their own opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone can be right and wrong.
But there are some immutable things like build quality. You know?
Yeah.
It's something with I think Ambernick excels at, but I think PowKiddy struggles with it, personally.
They do. And I already know that that's going to be a problem with my X18S. I know that the build quality is not going to be great. I'm probably going to have to deal with some problems. My PowKiddy screen was falling off from my RGB 10 Max, and I just accepted that because that's the name. PowKiddy to me means a little bit cheaper quality, but you get constant output from the company.
And usually aftermarket fixes.
Yeah, and I just like accept that, and I put that into the price of the product when I buy it, accepting that. So it's fine.
I heard from one of our lovely community devs that the X18S is nice, but the travel on some of the buttons is bad. Like the rest of the build quality is solid.
See.
But the travel on the D-pad is bad. Which sounds subjective, but it could be objective.
That's true. I feel like when I come on your podcast, I just like slating things all the time, but it's not who I am. But I feel like
I like it, man. You're yourself. Just give it to
everything.
Fuck it.
With everything that they bring out, like they have time to improve on it, but I feel like some companies don't.
Yeah.
Like a lot of feedback gets given, and they don't take that on board. They just do what they feel is right, which then does piss a lot of people off. And then they get into that point where people are unhappy with the product they've got because it's not what they expected, in a sense.
Well, and
I still buy them.
I'm personally curious.
You got to, because you have a sickness like us.
You do have a sickness. How many GPD situations have happened where people have said the original developers are gone and they were very passionate about their products, and then essentially it's been taken over by corporate bean counters, that are just looking at the bottom line. And obviously capitalism, blah, 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 blah. I understand that you want to have products that sell rapidly and that people enjoy and all that kind of stuff. But there's a difference between coming out with a more expensive, solid product that people will pay more for, and coming out with serious quality control issues, buttons falling out, screens falling off in case of the RGB 10 Max. And then you look at a company like, for instance, Retroid. I've heard very, very, very few build quality complaints about the Retroid Pocket 2.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've heard I've never really heard of a unit being dead on arrival.
Yeah.
There have been some battery issues, but I've never even heard of an RP2 getting permanently bricked. Like I tried to permanently brick one of my RP2s. I actively, with the source code, tried to fuck it up bad, and it didn't happen.
It's true. He did try.
I did. I tried for weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a build quality. That's one of the first things I said when I reviewed it, is the build quality just feels right for the price that you pay. I'd even go as far, the price that they brought it out for, they could have brought it out for more and people still would have bought it.
Yeah.
Because I think the price were really reasonable, even they undercut. I'd say they undercut some of the key players in the market to get it out.
Yeah.
And you weren't disappointed in it at all. Like I had a gripe about the analog stick, but apart from that, I mean, it's a solid handheld that I don't think in this current market now, you could find anywhere else apart from the Ambinic metal chassis versions. But that's metal, so that's that's on its own scale anyway.
And I think that's why people are so excited for the RP2 Plus, which is the motherboard replacement, right? And it sounds like, from what I was reading earlier, that they're going to sell it as a pre-assembled unit, probably in just whatever basic bitch colors they have left from the RP2 batches.
Right.
So we're probably not getting jungle green back or anything like that. But
and Abby confirmed that, I believe.
Did she? Yeah.
Yeah. We just don't have any more jungle green shells.
Right. So if you want an RS2 or an Indigo or something like that pre-assembled, I think the price is going to be $99, which is still, considering the processor upgrade, the 5 gigahertz upgrade, the analog upgrade, $20 more. Yeah, and the touchscreen. Yeah, $20 more.
Are you kidding me? We were speculating $150 for this exact same.
I thought device. 120 to 150. Yeah,
and so at this price point, I'm going to be a shill for Retroid at the moment and say it's a buy.
Yeah, RP2 Plus is definitely a buy.
At that price point, it's a buy in whatever colors they have left. Sure, and now Retroid has the accessories or the components you can buy separate now on their store.
Yeah.
So you can go in and buy yourself just an RS2 shell or just a joystick replacement, a joystick hat replacement, because everyone's popping those digital joystick hats off and losing them because they pop right off.
Yeah, because they suck.
Because that's one misstep that I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I have to make that sound.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the claim that the Wright slider is analog, and that it's the same exact build that was on the RP2, but now it's analog. Now, I did have a lengthy and without getting too deeply into technical details here, I did have a lengthy conversation with one of the Retroid developers about the original RP2 and why it didn't have a Wright analog stick. And basically, the processor, the MT6580, didn't have an analog input left over.
Right.
It just didn't. So I get it, but we're getting a supposedly 5 times, maybe more, stronger processor than the 6580. I think my money's on a Helio P65 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not the P60, but the P65. And that has plenty of analog inputs to have. It'll be good. Right. I mean, it's still going to be the slider.
Yeah.
But supposedly it's going to be actually analog. So
you know what we haven't done and what we still have a little bit of time for. Also, I feel really bad I ADD'd out in doing another task and not responding to you, Luke, and saying, I so appreciate your channel and I still follow it for any videos you released. I saw you did delve into some other areas of tech lately. And I still enjoy those videos. So I just wanted to say I'm a fan. I will always be a fan. I'm also a fan of what you're doing with the Retroid handheld zine. You're our editor for the zine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a Christmas issue coming out, I hear.
Christmas.
Possibly.
Yes, I'm just waiting for people to get back to me on the material, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing it actually the last time. It took a lot of effort, but it's just that nostalgia thing. I can remember going into the shop when I was younger. It always used to be, for some reason, on the middle shelf or the top shelf next to the nude magazines. Don't ask me why.
Yes.
Don't ask me why. With the clear, blocked out, you just saw the woman's face and nothing else, and it was cleared out.
And being the nerd, you go immediately to the right of that to get your gaming magazine instead.
Yeah,
you're like, yes, this is what I really.
The same
want.
In America at the Barnes and Noble.
It's
all right.
Yeah, at the Barnes and Noble.
You know what I'm talking about? You'd have the Game Informers and stuff like that, and then to the left would be like Maxim, and then to the left is the black bars. All right.
Yeah.
Can't look at that. It'll ruin the children.
Yeah.
So just wanted to touch on that. Thank you for working on the zine. As always, this is a quarterly release. And the first issue is already out, by the way. If I haven't plugged this before, please go check it out. It's up on the website, retro-handhelds.com. Also, please do Game of the Month voting this month because we all want Twisted Metal to win, which is my personal favorite. And it's so close tying to Front Mission, which we don't want a 22-hour RPG. Come on.
No, we don't. Don't be those.
We want Twisted Metal. Come on. So vote Game of the Month.
All right. Take it easy on us.
Just please vote for Twisted Metal. I'm not going to tell you what to vote for. Just vote for Twisted.
He's not going to tell you to do it, but he's saying do it.
And if
we'll ban you.
I will.
We'll ban you.
We will ban you. The admins will ban you, and that's the end of it. But
literally, wake up tomorrow and there's one member in the Discord channel,
and it's me, and I voted for Twisted Metal, and I'll play it by myself, crying in my corner.
Community destroyed over Twisted Metal.
Done. Well, guys, we have about 4 minutes left, and we have not done our shit-talking lightning round yet this episode.
Oh, we haven't done any shit-talking.
So, Luke, this is a new addition to the podcast lately where we just literally vent and complain like the old men that we are about whatever topic, handhelds or
I get to go first
stuff,
on this one. I got a quick one.
Thor, what do you got for us today? What are you mad about?
The screen quality on the OLED, even though the OLED is nice, the hardness of the lens is absolute fucking garbage. It's ass. All right? They put a plastic lens on it. It's not glass.
What?
Fuck you, Nintendo. Yeah.
That's not a glass screen.
No, it's not a glass screen. It's plastic.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. I don't know why they do it.
Product.
Somebody already put up, one guy got a Switch OLED and then proceeded to destroy it, right?
Yeah.
First thing he did was test the screen hardness. It's plastic. They didn't use glass. So for my OLED, I've already ordered a screen protector, a tempered glass protector.
Oh,
so fuck you, Nintendo. That's how I feel about it.
You know what? And let me say this. Let me just say this. What is the deal with the weather? No, I don't know.
With the weather.
I'm not. I've vented about a bunch of stuff. My main gripe was going to be the Retroid or the RGB 10 Max 2, and why we're getting that at all as a thing without any sort of prompting. You already heard me have a freak out earlier.
3326 handhelds, Stubbs.
We've already done that, and that's the Game Force. The Game Force is the ultimate 3326 handheld because the thing is ergonomic as shit. Have you felt the nipples in the back of that thing? They pump up in the right spot, and your hands are supported, and that is the ultimate device for that chipset.
So this is probably the last time we're going to bring this up. Does this mean that Gal is finally going to put the $200 in your bank account for the Game Force? Is it?
I'm hoping so. After this plug, are you kidding me? Drop all your Anburnix. Drop all your PowKiddies. Drop everybody.
Game Force for life. Game Force forever. 1,000 years Game Force.
I got the spoiled milk color, and I'm going to ride this baby into the sunset. We're got to do some rotten milk, Game Force, Super Nintendo, N64, all of the things. It's going to be crazy.
Shout out to Gal Fang, by the way, who's actually a very, very nice person, and they developed the Game Force. So
you're a one-man joy.
Nice.
And I love you. You are a joy of a human being. You've developed such a product. Luke, what upsets you about life right now?
Anything? I wouldn't so much life. I'm just going to hit it on the nail. Ambernick, what are you playing at? Like, come on. Let's get real. Just don't keep bringing shitty products out and saying, yo, we got a new product, but whoopsie-doo, we took the Wi-Fi away. Oh, even better, we've got a new product. We put a milk case on it, and we're going to charge extra for it. Please don't do that. No, just bring one product out every couple of months, improve on it, install everything you need to, and that's it. That's all we need. We don't need any other. We don't need any other.
They could have put an external Wi-Fi antenna on the MP, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's one thing. The one that killed me with Ambernick, though, all right, is going from the 350 to the 351 series stuff, the M not getting the 640 by 480 screen to fucking begin with. That one killed me. Just like, what are you doing? 320 by 480? Are you out of your fucking mind? What are you doing?
So now we're doing this? Now we're doing the MP? Why is this here? This is what the M should have been.
Yeah.
And then you took the damn Wi-Fi out.
This is what they're doing. They're working their way through the alphabet and just calling it anything they want and saying, yo, let's call it the RG351 ABCD, and we're going to take the screen out, no analog sticks. Yeah, boy. And we're going to charge $200 for it. Let's go.
I don't know if you saw.
Put 5 D-pads on it, and it's going to be around the corners.
I DM'd PowKiddy on Ali, right, on AliExpress, and asked them directly why they name their devices the way they do, thinking that they possibly could have some reason, like A would be Android or something like that. They literally said, it's whatever. It's just to make sure that we can tell the devices apart. It's just whatever. It's random.
Yo,
there's no.
I can't wait for them to get a device called the Shitstorm. They bring a device called the Shitstorm out. I'm buying that straight away.
Guys, we have that on the way. You know that Tally, our very own Tally, is developing the Pooh Boy, right?
The Pooh Boy? The Pooh Boy Advance?
Have you seen the Pooh Boy?
No.
Yeah. She's going there, and I love what she's doing. She is getting a team together and trying to get a CNC machine going and getting like a prototype built. She is focused on getting the Pooh Boy into a reality, and I cannot wait.
What shape is it? Is it the shape of Pooh?
Well, it's not the shape of Pooh. It takes your cell phone and you drop it into much like a Game Sir or like a Razer Kishi, and you drop your phone in and it makes your phone look like a Game Boy. So the first half of your phone is covered by this sort of Game Boy original DMG looking thing. And it's very interesting. I hope it comes to fruition. I'm on Team Pooh Boy, if that's the case.
Team Pooh Boy.
Count me in. Team Pooh Boy.
We're involved.
Tally, hit us up. Let us know.
Thank you all for tuning in again today. We've had a good time. Luke, thank you so much for coming on again, man. It's always been a freaking pleasure. You're such a funny guy.
A delight.
It's been a pleasure to see your beautiful faces again after so long. Well, I didn't see your faces last time, so it's the first time I've seen your faces.
Oh, it's ball breaking, true. Yeah. That's weird. Well, that's how we do it now, man.
Next time, we may have another guest on, or it could just be Stubbs and I breaking balls. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we aren't 100% confirmed yet on our next episode, but we'll get it there and we'll get it done. If you want to listen and watch Luke here at MoreTechSir, I believe it's youtube.com/C/MoreTechSir. Is that correct?
That is correct. I didn't know YouTube actually put a C in it now until I actually shared it the other day. I'm like, what the hell's a C doing there for? The hell is a C?
We'll make sure to put the link in the description for you. And we'll catch you guys later. So, love y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Au revoir.